Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is Flock Together, the podcast for events and travel professionals. And it is season 1, which is in partnership with Visit Berlin, Berlin Convention Office. And we're here today at Shooting Glen, where I am joined by Heidi Williams from BI Worldwide. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Excited to be here.
This is very exciting. We often bump into each other at lots of events. Lots of craziness has occurred. But this is a bit more chilled for us.
Yeah, I like this. There's less alcohol.
Yeah, basically what I was getting at. Yeah. For once, we're both sober, sitting there talking to each other.
Which feels bizarre, right?
Yeah, it is. We might have to change that immediately. How are things with you, and how are things at BI Worldwide?
Everything's good, thank you. Yeah, everything's good. It's the events industry is, like everybody, I think, ramping up now for the sales kickoff conference season in January. So we've got people in, out, site inspecting. It's busy, which is great because the pandemic was pretty rotten for everybody. So now to see everybody's suitcases reeling in, reeling out, that's an exciting time to be part of the industry once again.
Yeah, COVID definitely gave us all an appreciation for busyness. You know, it's now like busy is good.
Yeah.
Busy is good because the alternative is not good.
It's not good. You sit there going crazy, wishing you were on a plane somewhere.
So the first part of the podcast is all about like writing a letter to the industry. Okay. And all that means really is taking that feather, turning it into a quill and you know, writing whatever it is that you feel that you want to get out there and communicate.
Look, I absolutely adore the events industry. I think we have got the best jobs in the universe, let's be honest. We get to see some amazing things, go to some amazing places, but I also think we're in the inspiration business. We're in the business of being able to make positive change. For me, one of the biggest things I think that I would like to see, because in mainstream media, in workplaces, you're seeing the issue of accessibility becoming more and more prominent, which is brilliant. But I think we have that responsibility to start sort of really paying attention and making sure that every single element of our events that we're putting on are as inclusive as possible for as many different groups as we can. I think we were chatting about it the other day, and I did a fantastic course with a wonderful woman called Rachel Bellier-Wilson, and she ran an event for us whereby we had to get to London, to a hotel, into the meeting room, and have a session on discussion about accessibility in events. But we had to get there in small groups of 4, and we had somebody who was blindfolded, somebody who had noise cancelling headphones, and somebody in a wheelchair. And that event changed me as a person in terms of how you look at the world and how you experience the world, because you don't realise how few tube stations actually are wheelchair accessible.
We take so much for granted, don't we?
Completely. And the impact of coming out of the tube station and knowing that Big Ben was just there, knowing it, but you can't see it. It was a very, very surreal sort of experience, very vulnerable. So in order to have those thoughts in your mind with everything you do, to try and really push together to make everything we do as accessible for everybody as possible, because that's what we have the opportunity to do, positive change for everybody.
You literally walked a mile in their shoes, right? That's what that whole phrase is about, and I think that goes across in every context. But to actually truly be able to empathise will then allow you to kind of make the changes needed, because like you say, we are so ignorant to so many of the issues that someone who was blind or someone that was wheelchair bound, or we just can't relate to that.
No. And that's why it was so powerful for her to put that together for us, to educate us as a team, so it can really becomes something that you every time, still today, if I come out of that tube station and I see Big Ben, I am grateful that I can see Big Ben.
Well, that sounds like a really powerful memory, and it ties in perfectly with the next section of the podcast, which is remember. So I'm challenging you to remember the first ever work trip abroad that you went on.
In the events industry, that was to Dubrovnik, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I hadn't worked in the events industry before, so I sort of came back. I lived overseas, came back and got the job. And my line manager at the time said, okay, so we need you to go to Dubrovnik. Sorry, what? I need to, what? You're going to send me and pay me to go to Dubrovnik. Yeah, I'm up for that. Definitely up for that. And it just gets better and better every time, doesn't it? Wherever you go, wherever you're sent, the list that you think that you want to visit just keeps getting longer.
Yeah.
And longer and longer. I'm going to have to wait till I'm 100.
A never-ending dream that we're constantly chasing. And it's so funny you say that, because I remember the first trip I went on like that, and I was thinking, wow, I'm getting paid to do this?
Yeah.
And I think there are some people in the industry that become a bit jaded to it, but then quite a lot, I think, are still so appreciative and still reflect and think, wow,
Yeah.
how is this my job?
Yeah, yeah. Or regularly. So when members of the team, new members of the team or experienced member of the team are off on a site inspection or deliver an event, I always send them a quick message. You get paid to do this. How great is our job? It really is. Lucky.
And what was the last work trip that you went on?
I took a small group, an incentive group, I took them over to Gibraltar. So we were there for 3 days, and I actually smashed my personal record. So my personal best for travel in a day was 3 countries in one day. So I had breakfast in Oslo, lunch in Paris, and dinner in Vienna. That was my record, and I was super proud of that. This trip, we did Gibraltar, Spain, and Morocco. So that was then 3 countries, but 2 continents.
That is, do you know what? I've never even thought about doing that. Now I'm like, I want to get involved in this challenge. I've been like, the Bean app where you track all the countries you've been to and states, I will track that. But I've never thought about doing a 3-country day.
You've got to do this.
How
I think
bougie.
This is a thing. I think this is a thing. We've got to try and do this, and how many you can actually cram in.
Does England, Scotland and Wales count?
Absolutely not. No.
So the next part of the podcast is about revisiting. Yep. So if you could go back in time, transport yourself into a point in time where you were having this incredible destination experience, what would it be?
So it would be, it's a close competition, but I'm going to go with Vegas. Now I know some people love Vegas, some people don't like Vegas, but my first IMEX trip to Vegas, I was hosted as a hosted buyer with Visit Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Convention Bureau. And so we did all of the IMEX meetings and everything, and then we stayed on, and it was the most hedonistic, crazy week of my life. And I remember going back to the team and giving my feedback and sort of giving the information about, this is where we went, this was the hotel, this is my review of this is who I met. We went on the NASCAR racetrack, a helicopter ride over the strip, then we on a plane over the Hoover Dam to Grand Canyon, quad biking down, cowboy cookout. I mean, it was bonkers. So much crammed in to this time at the end of the already very bonkers IMEX. That trip blew my socks off in every which way possible, but just brilliant.
I do have to admit that Vegas, I'm one of those that loves Vegas, and I just think every single year that I go, there is another 3 or 4 incredible, almost landmark experiences. Another destination would only have that one experience, and then they just pile on another 3 that are of the same quality, and you just think it's so crazy, so chaotic, but it is multifaceted. It's not just getting very drunk and the city of sin. There is some, great nature that surrounds it and beauty and everything. But yeah, I have to admit, Vegas is I agree with that.
I was chatting to somebody who's from there the other day, and you can ski just outside there. I didn't even realise you could, but you can.
Yeah. The next question is about whether, if you could make a hotel a home, which hotel would it be?
Right, am I allowed to cheat a little bit here? Because my home hotel is not Lambo. I'm going to go on one of those lovely, beautiful luxury yachts that the likes of Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton are putting out there. That I don't want to be locked into one destination.
Genius.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm setting sail. I'm having a cocktail on that sun deck, jumping in, having a snorkel, and then I'm going to live the life of Riley in the lap of luxury.
Could you live on a boat for the rest?
Absolutely,
you could?
yes.
Yeah. Are you
yes.
nautical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the ocean. Diving, swimming, snorkeling, you name it, I want to be doing that.
That is a great. You've hacked this question. I have to admit, I'm very impressed with that. The penultimate question is about reimagining, and you've done many an incentive trip for other people.
Yeah.
But if you were organising an incentive trip for yourself, where would you go? What would you do? And which celebrity would accompany you on that trip?
Ooh. No, instantly my celebrity.
Go on.
Trip travel buddy, Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters, without a doubt. I think the guy is not only amazing as a musician, pretty gorgeous to look at, but also he is all about humans and human connections. I think that's the sum of what we do, right? Is bringing humans together, having a good time. But what he does, if you watch his documentaries or you see how he talks about things and how he talks about music and bringing people together, it's all about that raw moment when you're together sat in a room and you're just jamming and somebody does something and then it spurs something else and someone else and then, oh, what was that? What was that? And that's life, right? That's how life gets better and you enhance everything. So wherever I'm going, he's coming. Then I think where I'm going is going to be Cappadocia. That's the number one on the bucket list, followed very closely by Colombia. But Cappadocia, I'm going to go. I'm going to stay in one of those beautiful cave hotels. I'm going to go horse riding through the caves, the chimneys, see the underground cities. I'm going to drink that amazing wine and absolutely going up in a hot air balloon.
That sounds dreamy.
With Dave Grohl.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And a glass of wine.
I think if you were to pitch that to him, I think he'd probably go for it.
I reckon.
I think so, yeah. I think we need to get your people to speak to his people.
Dave, come on. What do you think?
So the final part of the podcast is reaction, all right? It's for you to react to some quick fire questions. You don't need to think too heavily about them. I just want your instant response.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Packing, last minute or week before?
Absolutely last minute.
I'm exactly the same.
I don't even know where my passport is until I'm about to run out the door. That's
Often
how bad I am.
The taxi is outside whilst I'm still packing. So yeah, no, I'm the same. Carry on or check in?
Oh, check in. I cannot pack light. It's physically impossible. I wear probably 2% of what I pack, but I feel like I have to have everything for every possible eventuality.
This is where we differ. Airport, lounge or shopping?
Lounge.
Aisle or window seat?
Window. Pillow.
Nice, same. City or nature?
Ooh. I used to say city, but I think I'm going more with nature, possibly because I'm getting older. But I don't know, I'm like at one with nature. But I think I'm appreciative of the natural beauty more a little bit now.
Okay.
Than potentially I once was for the hedonistic
Vegas.
Lay
Lay-in or early start?
Oh, lay-in.
Agreed. Poolside or seaside?
Seaside. That was easy.
Yeah, we knew that one. Planned or spontaneous?
Spontaneous every time.
Hotels, boutique or brands?
Ooh, that depends on the destination. I think if it's a destination where a nice little boutique, bougie, something that fits with that destination, then I'm all in there. But brand-wise, you know what you're getting. It's a safe bet. You can trust it. I haven't answered your question.
No, but I think you're right though, especially with like some of the with the good brands. You know, you're like, if you opened a new hotel in a new destination, I would follow you there because they're that good, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Hopefully Dave Grohl sees this. If he doesn't, we'll make that happen. You know, we'll get a hashtag started.
You'll come with me, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I was sold.
Grow your hair and little beard.
Have to work on my musical skills. Yeah.
That's okay, don't worry. We'll play it. We'll press play on the CD.
Perfect.
Yeah? CD?
Perfect.
How old am I? I told you. See? Oh, God.
Well, thank you so much. And we'll get some CDs. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me and good luck with this. It's fantastic.